from Charles Koch Arena in Wichita. Welcome back to ESPN Plus's continuing coverage of the National Invitational Volleyball Championship. The second match of the day here in Wichita brings together the host Shockers of Wichita State and the Red Wolves of Arkansas State. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Kennedy. Earlier today, it was Tulsa with a 3-1 victory over Kansas City, advancing to tomorrow's second round, and the winner of this match vying to meet the Hurricanes tomorrow in that second round matchup. There you see Chris Lamb in his 24th year as Wichita State's head coach, and there is Brian Gerwig in his second year as the head coach at Arkansas State. Here are the keys for Arkansas State. They've turned around a 9-22 record to 16-14 this year. They need to play like there's nothing to lose. They need to hit 200. They're 12-2 when they hit 200 or better, but that will be a tall task. They only hit 177 for the season. Wichita State holding its opponents to 168. And then Wichita State play like it matters. The Shockers got into this tournament last year and honestly didn't play very fired up and were eliminated in the opening round by Grand Canyon. They need to be ready to go. Feed the middles. Two outstanding middles in Natalie Foster and Morgan Stout. Really weapons. The Shockers need to go to them a lot. And serving Arkansas State to open the match, Izzy Strand, the setter, and that is Sophia Rolling, blocked right in the middle of the net. Haley Gluns, a 6'1 freshman from Aurora, Colorado, leading the block for the Red Wolves. This is a sophomore and freshman-dominated Arkansas State team. 7 of their top 10 or 11 are freshmen and sophomores. That's served by Erin Madigan, their freshman setter. Izzy Strand setting Foster, and Natalie Foster evens it up. Natalie Foster and the opposite right side player, Sophia Rolling, both named first team All-American Conference this week, and Morgan Stout and Izzy Strand were selected for the second team. Morgan Weber, one of 5 seniors who celebrated their senior night last Wednesday, serving for the Shockers. Mia Maloney with the pass, and that is Searing with the hit. Barbara Kohler getting a start tonight, uses it in there for the score. Kohler did not even play in the Shockers' last regular season match last Wednesday against UAB, but in the starting lineup tonight, gets an early kill. Weber with the serve. It's going to go right to Searing and blocked by Kohler. Maybe some inside help from Natalie Foster, and Wichita State, after giving up the first point, has scored 3 in a row. Another look at it. It was Kohler. Ball deflected sharply across court, but stayed in play. Weber's serve goes to Whitlock. That is Searing on the right, dug by Izzy Strand. Out of system set by Katie Galligan, who's wearing the libero jersey tonight for the Shockers. And that hit off the left side by Abby Harris gets the point for Arkansas State. Harris, a sophomore from Rogers, Arkansas. She has only played in 42 sets on the year, but has been playing regularly over the last couple of matches. Back to serve for Arkansas State, Sarah Martinez. And that serve is a little bit long and out of bounds. Interesting development for both teams. Sarah Martinez has been the libero all year for Arkansas State, but she is playing as a DS tonight. Mia Maloney in the libero jersey, and you see Katie Galligan serving. She is the libero tonight for the Shockers rather than Gabby Moss. Short serve, Whitlock plays it. That's going to go on the right to Harris, blocked back by Wichita State. Whitlock from off the net, played by Kohler. Strand back set to Rolling, and way under that one, hit it long and out of bounds. Rolling leads Wichita State in kills at an even 3%, hitting .281. It's been really good down the stretch, hitting over 300 the last several matches, but just got way under that one. And it's a 1-point lead as Arkansas State will side out. Tegan Searing, a grad transfer, 4 years at Austin Peay before joining the program this year. That is passed sideways. Galligan gets it back in play. Kohler from off the net with a pretty good swing. Martinez bump sets it for Harris. And Galligan will set it for Kohler, who rifles one in there for the score. Big swing by Barbara Kohler, who has one of the biggest arms on this Wichita State team. Back to a 2-point lead for the Shockers. And there is Gabby Moss in to serve. Again, not playing as the libero tonight. She has served more than any other Wichita State player this year. Martinez returning. On the left, that is Whitlock down the sideline, touched by a Shocker player. And that is a kill for Caitlin Whitlock. She has been quite a find for Arkansas State. A 5'8" freshman from San Antonio. 5'8" hitting on the outside. That's extremely rare, but she can really spring. Harris serving. Galligan the return. Strand setting Kohler, and she's under that one. But it was touched at the net. Ball went long, but it was tipped. And Kohler gets another kill, puts Wichita State back up by 2. Again, earlier today, the first of 2 matches here, it was Tulsa defeating Kansas City 3-1. So they will await the winner of this match in the second round tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. Kohler with the serve and a big jump serve out of bounds. Service error gives a point to Arkansas State. Wichita State averages just 1 ace per set, 1.6 errors. They have brought that error number down quite a bit in the last 3 weeks or so. They've kept those aces to errors pretty even. There you saw number 10, Tegan Searing, checking back into the Arkansas State lineup. Back to serve is the freshman left, Caitlin Whitlock. That serve goes to Kohler, short pass to Izzy Strand, and Stout had to kind of adjust in midair, managed to tip it across. Searing bumps it across to Moss, and that tip off the block by Morgan Stout. Scores for Wichita State. Stout hitting well over 300 on the season. In fact, at 333 coming into the postseason. And she is back to serve now. Didn't do any serving all year until about the last 3 weekends of the season. It's a set on the right to Yasmin Billings, and that is blocked by Wichita State. Wichita State with its first 3-point lead now. Morgan Stout has gotten better and better as she has served more regularly, serves in play 90% of the time. Back set on the right to Billings, and that is out of bounds on that cross-court slide. So Wichita State has now scored 3 straight points to open up a 4-point lead. Opening set of the match. Stout into the net. Service error, so Wichita State has now had 2 service errors. And with a total of 6 points, Arkansas State has scored 2 on kills, 2 on Wichita State service errors. 1 block also for the Red Wolves. Mia Maloney is a freshman from Louisville, Kentucky, playing as the libero today, and her serve is long and out of bounds. Back to a 4-point lead for the Shockers. Arkansas State averages 1.4 aces per set, but also 2.1 errors. Izzy Strand serving for Wichita State. Senior setter, Whitlock's pass to Madigan, back off the net to Whitlock, and that's going to score. Caitlin Whitlock managed to get one off the hand of a blocker at the net, and then it deflected out of the reach of Katie Galligan on the back row. Back to a 3-point advantage for Wichita State. Serving is the setter, Erin Madigan. Riley Kelly in for the first time with that pass to Strand. Back to Kelly, who tips. Searing kept that one in play, and then a really hard hit by Harris. And Harris was looking for a touch call, didn't get it, but Brian Gerwig will ask for one as the Arkansas State head coach calls for a replay. Right now it's up at 11-7 for Wichita State, but this could reverse it as Arkansas State felt like that ball might have been touched at the net. Good look at Brian Gerwig talking to his team. Second year as the head coach at Arkansas State and second year as a collegiate head coach. He was in Jonesboro once before as an assistant in 2017 and 18 to David Rare. And then when Rare took the head coaching position at Houston, Gerwig went with him, was an assistant there for 3 years, came back to Arkansas State last year. We've got a replay. We'll see if it shows us anything on this possible touch. Harris's swing. From that angle, it looked like it just sailed over the hand. Here's a better. From that angle, it looked like it could have grazed the left hand of Briley Kelly, but I'm not sure that's going to be definitive enough because from that angle, you can't see when the ball actually got to her hand. From the front angle, it looked like the ball might have sailed over it, but a very slight touch could have caused it to elevate a little bit. Yeah, not sure that look, those two angles that we had were clear enough to reverse the call, but we're getting a discussion here. And he will point to, Skull and touch. Point to Arkansas State. So a worthwhile appeal by the Red Wolves. Oh, that's a better angle. We didn't see that one. It was touched by Briley Kelly, so that will be a kill for Harris and Arkansas State within 2 rather than trailing by 4. Erin Madigan, the freshman setter, 17 aces, 36 errors as a server this year. That is deep to Kelly. Strand from off the net sets rolling. Soft tap played by Whitlock. And a little push tip is good for the kill by Hollingshead. Brianna Hollingshead, a senior from Pickering, Ohio, shoving that one across the net to pull Arkansas State within a point here. Wichita State led moments ago by 4. 3 straight points for the Red Wolves, and a hard serve by Madigan, played by Kohler. And a whistle. Where that whistle came, double touch is the call on Izzy Strand. Usually when the whistle blows, just as the ball has left the setter's hands, you can kind of expect that's what it is. Non-simultaneous touch called against Izzy Strand. Tie score, and then a serve into the net by Madigan. Swings it back to a 1-point Wichita State advantage. But a nice little run by Arkansas State. 4 straight points to tie it up. Side out back to Wichita State. Morgan Weber will be the server. She is at exactly the same number of aces to errors in her 4-year career at Wichita State. That one goes to Whitlock. Set left to Harris. That's played by Galligan. And on the left, Kohler with a hard tip. Whitlock back to field it. Harris with a hard swing, and it hit the antenna. Harris's try, left-handed hitter on the left side that time, and a little close to the antenna, grazed the pin, and that will give the point to Wichita State. Morgan Weber on her second service rotation of the match. Goes to Whitlock. And on the right, that is Searing. Was it touched? It was. Searing gets the kill on a ball that was tipped at the net. Tegan Searing, grad transfer from Yorktown, Indiana, by way of Austin Peay. 1-point advantage for Wichita State as Sarah Martinez serves for the second time. That goes to Weber. Strand to a knee to set Foster, batted around, and then rolling with the swing. And we've got a whistle at the net and a violation by Arkansas State. Somebody kind of stumbled, maybe got tangled up with a teammate, stepped under the net. Here's a look at it. Yep, you could see Hollingshead kind of slipped and fell into the net. So the point to Wichita State. Katie Galligan serving. Floats it deep to Maloney. Whitlock from the left side rips one through there and for the kill. Caitlin Whitlock is leading this team in kills per set at 2.99, but they have really been going to her lately. Over the last 4 matches, she is taking more than 12 attempts per set and averaging 4.63 kills over the last 4 matches. And again, kind of an anomaly. You don't see many, at least successful 5'8" outside hitters, but the freshman from San Antonio has had an outstanding freshman year. We'll get a look at the replay here. Looked like a couple of possible touches there, but it was hard to tell. And Izzy Strand barely able to duck her head out of the way. So our second appeal early in this first set. Arkansas State won one earlier. Here's another look at it. Hard to tell, but it looked like that one cleared Sophia Rolling possibly. The call on the floor was the point to Arkansas State, therefore that it was touched, and they're signaling point Wichita State. So each team has benefited from an appeal, and Wichita State goes from a 1-point lead to a 3-point lead at 14-11. Katie Galligan serving for the Shockers. Sophomore from Omaha, Nebraska. That serve goes to Martinez. On the left, Whitlock off the block. That one scores for sure. That was clearly touched at the net, deflected deep along the back line. And Caitlin Whitlock with the kill, cuts it to a 2-point advantage. Back to serve now is Libby Geweiler, a 5'6" freshman DS from McCordsville, Indiana, making her first appearance of the match. Geweiler, 12 aces, 24 errors on the year. That went to Weber, and that is Stout. Geweiler played it on the back row. Soft hit by Harris, but still a little too hard. Abby Harris tried to ease that one cross court, but missed the opposite sideline. It's back to a 3-point lead for Wichita State, and we will get a media timeout. First set, Wichita State up 3 over Arkansas State in the NIVC. A 3-point lead for Wichita State at about the halfway mark of this opening set. The Shockers 6 kills, 2 errors, hitting .250, and the Red Wolves 7 kills but 6 errors, hitting .053. Side out continues for Wichita State. Gabby Moss serving for the Shockers. Sophomore transfer from TCU. And pretty good serve to Martinez, set on the left to Whitlock, and that ball slid down her hand and went into the net. It just slipped down into her palm and went into the net. Wichita State matching its biggest lead of the opening set at a 4-point span. Gabby Moss serves in play about 95% of the time. Returned by Martinez, and a good quick by Billings, but the Shockers keep it in play. Kohler with the swing, dug by Maloney. Back to Whitlock, and through the block gets back to Moss. On the left, that's Kohler, and she slams it off the block to score. Barbara Kohler with a big swing on the left side, took it off the block, and she is off to a good start for Wichita State. Shockers now up by 5 in this opening set. Barbara Kohler with her 4th kill of the opening set. Madigan right beside her to Billings, but that was blocked back. Strand on the right to Stout, and that is in. It was touched. I think it landed inbounds anyway, but it was clearly touched at the net. Morgan Stout, who got a lot of those on those slides into the right antenna against UAB last Wednesday in the Shockers' last match, getting the first one she scored on tonight. Arkansas State is going to take a timeout and gives us an opportunity to mention that this tournament is kind of interesting. The NIVC actually debuted in 1989. It's the volleyball equivalent of basketball's NIT. It was in effect from 1989 to 95, and then it was discontinued. It was revived in 2017 by Triple Crown Sports, and it's now in its 7th year in its return. This is the 3rd time that Wichita State has played in the event. All have come in the last 6 years since its revival. It is the 6th time that Arkansas State has played in the tournament, but the first time for them since 2018. Arkansas State is 9-9 all time in this tournament. Wichita State is 1-2. They went 1-1 at North Texas 5 years ago, winning over Central Arkansas and then losing to host North Texas. And then the Shockers were invited into this tournament last year and lost in the first round to Grand Canyon. This is also just the fifth meeting ever between Arkansas State and Wichita State, but they did play just 2 years ago in Jonesboro. Wichita State beat the Red Wolves for the championship of Arkansas State's tournament early in the year. Gabby Moss serving, Martinez, Madigan, and that is Billings. And Barbara Kohler with a little less violent swing that time. Eased it off a blocker and gets her 5th kill, as Wichita State has now scored 5 straight points to open up a 7-point lead. Gabby Moss, deep, and Martinez couldn't quite handle it. First service ace for either team. Wichita State had 2 earlier service errors, and Arkansas State with no aces, 3 errors. Gabby Moss doesn't get a lot of aces, but doesn't commit many errors. That's her 21st ace against 20 errors on the year. Good serve to Maloney. Left to Whitlock, block, kept in play by Harris. But back to Whitlock, and a nice dig by Galligan. Now, can anybody get it? No. Galligan diving, kept it off the floor, but it really deflected sharply off her hands, clear over the Shocker bench and into the stands. So that ends a 6-point run for Wichita State, but they still lead by 7. Harris serving for Arkansas State, and that's their first ace, as Gabby Moss couldn't handle that one. Abby Harris coming in with very limited serving opportunities for the year. Gets an ace there to cut the lead to 6. 2 straight points now for the Red Wolves. Sails that one long and out of bounds. So that is the 4th service error for Arkansas State. Back to a 7-point lead for Wichita State, and they now need just 4 more points to capture this opening set. Barbara Kohler serving for the Shockers. Served quite a bit early in the year, not much lately. It's returned by Martinez, and that swing by Billings is going to score for the Red Wolves. Pinballed around a little bit and then deflected across the end line. Yasmin Billings with the kill. Billings is a sophomore from Atlanta. Has started 25 of the previous 30 matches this year for the Red Wolves, and now Whitlock serving. That is to Barbara Kohler. Set left to Kelly, and a great save by Whitlock. Little tip by Searing, and a violation in the net. Violation called against Wichita State. Hard to tell from there, but it is Arkansas State's point. They cut the lead to 5. And Whitlock was ready to serve, but hadn't gotten the go-ahead from the officials. Tossed the ball away, got it back, and is ready to go. Big, long approach this time. Played forward by Moss, and that is Morgan Stout with a quick in the middle. Perfect set, great downward hitting angle. Here's another look at it. Really snapped it down. And Wichita State back to a 6-point advantage. Stout serving, that's a couple of times now that she has scored a kill and then rotated back to serve. It goes to Whitlock, and that is Harris on the right, blocked. And hope everybody's okay. Billings went down, but appears to be all right. Little collision there on the right side for Arkansas State. Head coach Brian Gerwig checking on everybody. The point went to Wichita State. And now Arkansas State will take a timeout. Arkansas State representing the Sun Belt Conference. They first move into Division I in the 68-69 academic year, joining the Southland Conference. They remained in that league for 19 years, moved to the Atlantic Sun for 4, and they have now been in the Sun Belt since 91-92, their 33rd year as a member of the conference. This is their 49th season of women's volleyball, and that's become kind of a rarity, someone staying in any conference that long. So congratulations to them, and it's been a heck of a year for the Sun Belt in volleyball. A record 4 teams are playing in the NCAA, as Coastal Carolina, James Madison, South Alabama, and Texas State were all selected for the NCAA, all finished in the top 45 of the RPI. In addition to those 4, Arkansas State and Georgia Southern invited to the NIVC. In the American, only one team, the champion SMU, got into the NCAA tournament. The next best RPIs, and SMU was around 25. But Rice was 61, Wichita State 62, and the American has 6 teams in the NIVC and could have had a 7th. Rice declined to play in this tournament, although they were extended an invitation. Wichita State serving up 23-16. That's served by Morgan Stout to Maloney. And that swing by Billings deflects off the block. Gabby Moss is there for it. Foster with the swing. Batted back off the net. Harris with the try. That's played by Stout from the back row. Riley Kelly with the tip. Whitlock diving forward. And Searing puts one down for the kill. Tegan Searing off the left side scores for Arkansas State. Searing averaging over 2.4 kills per set on the year. And she gets her team back to within 6. But Wichita State only 2 points away from finishing this set. Maloney with the serve. Katie Galligan to Strand, dumped it, but it's played by Maloney. Set left to Searing again, blocked by the Shockers. Still in play, Searing tries again, off the block. Strand kept it alive, tipped across by Foster. Back to Searing again, off the block, back to Kohler. Strand on a joust at the net, gets it across, but Arkansas State keeps it going. And then it slides off the hand of Searing, and that will be a 4th touch violation on Arkansas State. That's something that Arkansas State has kind of excelled in this year. Long rallies, extending rallies. They've had a lot of digs, a lot of attempts as an attacker. But that time, Wichita State gets the final call, and a service ace ends the set. Wichita State triumphs 25-17 in the first, and we'll be back with more first-round NIVC action on ESPN+. Wichita State taking the opening set over Arkansas State. The big difference was the Shockers' hitting efficiency as we take a look at some highlights from the opening set. Wichita State, 10 kills with just 2 errors, hitting .308. That is Barbara Kohler scoring. She had 5 kills of the Shockers' 10 in that opening set, tipped there by Morgan Stout. Arkansas State matched the Shockers with 10 kills, but they had 9 hitting errors to Wichita State's 2. That's really the big difference. Wichita State won the set by 8 points, had a difference of 7 points in attack errors. Wichita State had an advantage of 1, 2 blocks to 1, and each team with 2 service aces. Again, Kohler had 5 kills for Wichita State. Caitlin Whitlock had 4 kills to lead Arkansas State. So we are just about ready to go in the second set. If you joined us late, the first match here in Wichita today went to Tulsa, also out of the American Athletic Conference. The Golden Hurricane defeating Kansas City by a score of 3-1. Tulsa won the first set, and then the third and fourth sets. They advance to a second round meeting with the winner of this match, and that will take place at 1:30 tomorrow here. Only one site opened play last night. That was in Des Moines, and that is the side of the bracket, or the part of the bracket adjacent to this one. The winner of these first two rounds will advance to meet the winner of the first two rounds there. And as you can see, it was Drake over Chicago State, DePaul over Southern Illinois, and DePaul and Drake are meeting right now in Des Moines to see who advances from the second round there. Wichita State's RPI of 62 was the third best of all the teams in this NIVC. Drake at 54 had the second best RPI. So you would anticipate that the winner of these first two rounds would probably go to Drake if Drake wins that match tonight against DePaul. The best RPI in the field of 32 belongs to St. John's. And at 46, they are on the other side of the bracket, would not play against anyone from this side until the championship. Set two underway as he strands serving Whitlock with a high, long pass. That is Searing off the block, played by Galligan. And on the left, Riley Kelly deflects back to Whitlock, who keeps it in play. Dumped across by Harris. And that quick to Natalie Foster is inbounds and scores for Wichita State. Natalie Foster led the American Conference in hitting and came into the postseason ranked among the national leaders at 17th at 404. Searing with the swing. Kohler plays it. That is Sophia rolling, and that is blocked. Kind of a little tip block back down by Arkansas State. Searing and Hollingshead on that left side defensively. Hollingshead reaching up right at the last moment to tip it down and tie the set at one apiece. Sarah Martinez, who has been the libero all year for Arkansas State, but not tonight, serving for the Red Wolves. Sends that deep to Kohler. Strand right beside her to Foster, and that was just blistered to the deck in a hurry. Foster with 2 kills for the first 2 points for Wichita State in this set, and that one just got ripped straight down. Back to serve Morgan Weber for Wichita State. The Shockers with 2 service aces, 2 errors in the opening set. 1 ace, 4 errors for Arkansas State. Madigan sets it left for Whitlock, and she finds an opening through the seam to score. Great angle right through the seam, right through a bunch of people. And Caitlin Whitlock with her 5th kill ties it up at 2-2. Actually, they have signaled that that point will be Wichita State's on a touch, or that the point should be Wichita State's, but an appeal. Scoreboard shows 3-1, but here's a look at it. Whitlock swinging off the left side. Looks like it's between Rolling and Foster there. Why I'm puzzled is I thought that ball was actually down in bounds, whether it touched anybody or not. But if it did land outside the sideline, that's why they're reviewing it, as Arkansas State wants to see if there was a touch by Wichita State, which would give the Red Wolves the point. So past the first 2, in between 2 more. Isn't that ball in? The line judge called it out, but I thought on the replay it looked in. I am sitting on the side of the court where I had the same angle as that replay showed. And they're saying no touch and awarding the point to Wichita State. I think where that one might have gotten missed was that the ball may have been inbounds anyway. But the line judge was closer than I am. The point goes to Wichita State in a 3-1 lead. Morgan Weber serving. Short serve this time. And it falls in. Hollingshead tried to go to a knee and pop it up, but she didn't get it all the way to Madigan and kind of fell in front of her. So Wichita State with a service ace and a 3-point lead. Again, a short serve, a little too short this time, as Weber's serve hits the net and comes back. Shockers up early 4-2. They won the first set, 25-17. In for the second time tonight, Libby Geweiler, freshman DS from McCordsville, Indiana. She has played in about 3/4 of all the sets for Arkansas State this year. And her serves a line drive to Katie Galligan. Set on the right to Rolling, and she knocks it down for the kill. Again, Sophia Rolling led Wichita State in kills, or leads them. It's not over yet, of course. An even exactly 3 kills per set, hitting .281 coming into this one, named first team all-conference for the second time in her career. Katie Galligan has really played more and more as this season has gone on, serving Maloney. On the right, that's Whitlock, and that's blocked. Morgan Stout on the inside, Rolling on the outside, getting the stuff for Wichita State. That's the Shockers' third scoring block, 3-2 now in that category. Katie Galligan serve. Maloney with a high pass outside the antenna, and Madigan couldn't get it back in play, so that will go as an ace for Katie Galligan. Wichita State opening up a 5-point lead. See Chris Lamb talking to his team a little bit. I don't know if that's a camera. Apparently it is. It's the official's camera there on the standard, and it had gotten hit and moved, so it wasn't pointing down the net, which is where it's supposed to be. Sophia Rolling, tall enough to reach up and adjust it. But it was Arkansas State's coach, Brian Gerwig, who noticed that. So, the camera getting adjusted. And Chris Lamb talking about it, and both seemingly a little bit amused by it all. They are certainly familiar with each other. Brian Gerwig, before taking the head coaching position last year at Arkansas State, was an assistant for 3 years at Houston in the American Conference with Wichita State. So he has been in this arena as an assistant coach, and Wichita State and Houston playing each other twice every year during Brian Gerwig's time at Houston. I don't know if they're checking something now to see if the camera's properly calibrated and focused. But a delay here early in the second set with Wichita State leading 7-2. The Shockers won the first set 25-17. Wichita State coming into this match at 21-8. They finished second in the American at 15-4. Arkansas State 16-14. But that is a 7.5 game turnaround from a 9-22 record a year ago. Arkansas State returned 7 letter winners from last year's team, but one of their key returnees was lost early in the season to injury. Kyla Wiersma, who is a freshman last year, led the team in blocks, was second in kills, only has played in 1 set this year, so it's a brand new team for the most part. 9 new faces starting the year. Maloney with the return. Harris with a big swing, puts it down. That's one of the new faces, Abby Harris, a sophomore from Rogers, Arkansas. And that ends a run by Wichita State. They had scored 3 straight points. Cuts the lead to 4. There is Abby Harris. Left hands it across to Katie Galligan. That is rolling on the right, off the block to score. I believe Hollingshead got a bit of that one, and then it deflected way up in the air and deep over the end line. Sophia Rolling checking out. Gabby Moss back to serve. Wichita State back to a 5-point lead in this second set. Moss, a very deep serve and a little too deep. Maloney made a good decision right at the last moment to let it go. Harris was also back there, I think, coaching her a little bit because Harris was across the end line and could see it was going to reach her too long. So a service error by Wichita State. Side out back to Arkansas State. Caitlin Whitlock, who sets up well off that back line to serve it. And just over the tape to Gabby Moss. That is Stout with the swing, and she sailed that one. Oh, it's in. It's off a hand. Actually was long, but off a touch. So another kill for Morgan Stout. Here's another look at it. Must have gotten the left hand of Searing, who tried to sell it as not being touched. But no contest on the call. That big swing by Kohler, pass near the net, and Madigan managed to push it over the net and score. Great job by Erin Madigan, as that was nearly an overpass, and she managed to just shove it off the hand of the block. Here's another look at it. And Madigan at 6'2" is one of those setters that can make those kinds of plays around the net. So she gets the point for Arkansas State. Maloney serving. Katie Galligan, a short pass to Strand. She'll go left to Briley Kelly. Nice dig by Maloney. And that is Searing off the block to Kohler. Very close to the net. An attack by Izzy Strand. Was played by Maloney. Searing the tip, but a little long. Searing saw there was room down the net to the opposite side. Tried to ease it over there, but pushed it out of bounds. Back to a 5-point lead for Wichita State. For the match now, the Shockers are hitting .343, and Arkansas State 0-0-0. Stout to Whitlock. Set back off the net to Whitlock. Deflects off the block to Kohler. That is Foster, and a great diving dig by Whitlock. From the back row, Kohler with the attack, and it is in. The line judge on the back line pointing the flag down. Well, got reversed. Initial signal was in, but the call from everybody else was out, and that's going to be how it goes. Point Arkansas State. Yep, that's definitely long, it looks like. From my angle, I thought it was. I was a little surprised when the flag went down. Good serve by Madigan. Moss barely kept it off the floor. Kelly out of system from off the net. Maloney bumps it right for Harris, and that scores for the Red Wolves. Abby Harris off the block. Deflected back out of bounds. And the Red Wolves have scored 2 straight points to get back to within 3. Erin Madigan, freshman setter from Macomb, Michigan. And her serve goes to Gabby Moss. Quick in the middle to Foster, and that's going to fall to the floor off the block. Solid contact by Hollingshead and Searing. So solid that it just popped behind them and short of anybody else trying to come forward. 4-point lead for Wichita State. Izzy Strand serving. Whitlock with the pass, and Madigan's going to go to Hollingshead. Galligan played it. That is Briley Kelly off the block to score. I mentioned the 4 Wichita State players who were either first or second team all-conference. Briley Kelly, fifth-year senior, was preseason co-player of the year, but has been hurt off and on all season, battling abdominal injuries. Didn't have the year expected. Timeout on the floor. Wichita State up 5 and up 1-0 in this first round NIVC match from Wichita. So far in 2 sets, Wichita State has outscored Arkansas State by a total of 13 points, and most of that is just the difference in hitting errors. Wichita State just 4 errors, hitting .325. Arkansas State 12 attack errors, hitting .022. Red Wolves returning service. Izzy Strand plays that one. Galligan bump sets it for Kelly, and Briley Kelly with another kill. Her second straight. She got one just before the timeout. Wichita State had a 4-point lead, a 5-point lead actually, cut to 3, and now it's back up to 6. Strand serving Whitlock. From the back row, Whitlock blocked solo by Natalie Foster. Foster, a very good blocker. I wouldn't say a great blocker, but her block average 0.95. Anytime you get up around 1, that's pretty good. This is set left for Searing, and a nice tip falls in for the kill. Veteran play there by the 5th-year senior, Tegan Searing, tipping one in for the point. Wichita State up by 6. Sarah Martinez serving for Arkansas State. Junior from Flower Mound, Texas. Short serve to Galligan. Strand goes left to Kelly, and Kelly with another kill. Over the block and too hot for Martinez to be able to handle. And Wichita State with a 7-point lead. Briley Kelly has now scored on her last 3 swings off that left side. Morgan Weber serving for Wichita State. Deep, played by Martinez. That is Whitlock blocked, and rolling, and Foster blocking Whitlock. Maloney diving, tried to keep it in, but it was already across the sideline and out of bounds. Wichita State climbing to an 8-point lead. They won the first set, 25-17. Weber served into the net. I think she's had 1 ace and 2 errors tonight. And again, her ratio has been exactly 1-to-1 for her entire career coming into tonight. Exactly the same number of aces as errors over 4 seasons. And that is Libby Geweiler serving for Arkansas State. And a little too long. Right in between Galligan and Weber, they both ducked back out of the way and let it go. Wichita State's lead back to 8. That's going to be the 5th service error for Arkansas State. They've only had 1 ace. Wichita State also with 5 service errors, but 3 aces. Katie Galligan goes to Maloney. Madigan across the sideline. Harris, cross-court tip, played by Strand. Bump set left for Kohler. Martinez with the pass, and that is Harris with the swing, and a nice swing out of the reach of Morgan Weber on the back row. Almost a little bit of a hook shot there by Abby Harris. Pulled it toward that right corner and out of the reach of the diving Weber. Going back and forth between 7 and 8-point leads right now. Wichita State in front, and Harris too much on top of that serve, got into the lower half of the net. 6th service error for the Red Wolves, and an 8-point lead for Wichita State. The winner advances to a second-round match tomorrow at 1:30 against Tulsa. Gabby Moss serving. Whitlock the return. Back to Whitlock, and that was touched. Ended up out of bounds, but a good hard swing by Caitlin Whitlock. She gets the kill off a deflection. Caitlin Whitlock now with 5 kills for Arkansas State. Whitlock serving to Moss. It's going to go left to Kohler, and she's got another one down for the kill. 6th kill in the first 2 sets for Barbara Kohler. Kohler has been a little up and down, a little erratic at times, but a powerful hitter. She has played in a little over half the sets for the year. Didn't play at all last Wednesday against UAB, but started this one, and she gets a service ace right on top of that last kill. That was a nasty topspin jump serve that got down in a hurry. There's another look at it. A lot of downward spin on that one. So Wichita State up by 9. trying to go up 2-0 in this match against Arkansas State. I mentioned the two have played very infrequently, and this is only the second time they've ever played in Wichita. The last time was 1993. So none of the people playing in this match were even born when Arkansas State played here the last time. Wichita State played in Jonesboro in Arkansas State's tournament 2 years ago and beat Arkansas State head-to-head to win that tournament. Arkansas State lost that match here in '93, and then the other meetings were even before that, even before 1993, both in tournaments at neutral sites. Arkansas State won one of those. So Wichita State has an all-time edge of 3-1 and 1-0 in the only previous match here in Wichita. Again, this is the 6th appearance in the NIVC for Arkansas State, but their first since 2018. It is the 3rd appearance for Wichita State in the NIVC, and all of those have been in the last 6 years, 2018 and last year. Ready to resume with Wichita State up by 9, 5 to go to capture the second set. Barbara Kohler following up an ace with a ball off the tape to Whitlock. And on the left, that is Searing, and Galligan can't keep it in the court. Good hard swing by Searing cross court, deflected off of the arms of Katie Galligan and well on out of the realm of play. Still an 8-point lead for Wichita State. Mia Maloney serving. And Moss with a short pass, Strand able to bump it to Kelly. And a good swing, a one-handed save by Whitlock. Bump back into play by Harris. Kohler and Strand, and it's out of bounds. Strand attempting to attack from the center position, a little wide. For the year, she has hit 211 on attack attempts and tries it about 2.5 times a set. 7-point lead now, and Moss couldn't handle that one. It was sinking quickly. She got a little bit of it, passed it very low to Strand, who also kept it off the floor, but only a few inches. And that's going to be an ace for Mia Maloney. And a 3-point run now for Arkansas State. Just over the tape to Galligan. Strand is going to go left to Kelly, blocked, but Moss backs it up. Kelly again, a little softer hit. And that one bounces around, and what a pass across the net by Searing. And then Stout with a big swing. Great dig by Whitlock. Searing, dug by Galligan. Moss, high set on the left to Kelly. Another great dig by Whitlock. Bumped last to Searing. That's dug by Kohler. Nice long rally. Hard tip by Stout, and she gets the point. Man, there were some great digs on both sides, two in particular by Whitlock for Arkansas State. But Morgan Stout pushed it off the block to score. Wichita State back up to a 7-point lead and 4 to go to win the second set. Stout back to serve. A little bit of housekeeping first on the Arkansas State side. There was some perspiration on the floor as people were diving around on that previous point. Morgan Stout serves in play 90% of the time on the year. Whitlock set left to Searing, and that's a score for Arkansas State. Touched at the net. It also, I believe, got down in play, but either way, it's a kill for Tegan Searing. Wichita State's lead is 6. Erin Madigan back to serve for the Red Wolves. Down the middle to Gabby Moss. Set left to Kelly, and a big-time block. Harris on the right, stuffing it for Arkansas State. And this is the closest that the Red Wolves have been in a while as they cut it to 5. Another look at it here. Great hand position by Abby Harris on the outside. Madigan serve to Moss and back to Kelly. It comes off the block. Another leaping one-handed save by Whitlock. Another block. Whitlock's there to back it up. And that is Hollingshead with a big swing, passed over the net. On the left, Searing, and that's going to score. Another rally won by Arkansas State. Tegan Searing finishing it off. But again, really nice play on the back row by Whitlock in the course of that point, leaping to keep one in play, doing so one-handed. Good look at Erin Madigan, the freshman setter for the Red Wolves. Gabby Moss with a short pass to Strand. It's going to go left to Kelly. Through the block, Searing played it. That is Harris pounding it through the block to score. This looked like almost a foregone conclusion, this set. Wichita State was up 20-11, a 9-point lead, and Arkansas State is now on a 7-1 run. Arkansas State, major improvement in its second year under Brian Gerwig. They were 9-22 a year ago. Again, they did initially return 7 letter winners, but lost one of those very early in Kyla Wiersma, who led them in blocks last year, was second in kills, a 6-foot sophomore middle, only played in 1 set this year, but they adjusted. They have 9 new faces. 7 of the top 10 are either freshmen or sophomores, so a really good-looking future. I talked to Coach Brian Gerwig just momentarily before the match, and he said it's really been a good feeling to get that feeling that they're starting to turn the corner. And he will have the majority of this team back next year to try to build on this strong finish, leading to a postseason appearance here in the NIVC. Again, it was 20-11 here in the second set, and it is now 21-18. 7-1 run by the Red Wolves. Can they push it a little closer? Wichita State won the first set, 25-17. They've been well ahead virtually this entire set. Erin Madigan serving. Gabby Moss to Strand, quick to Foster, and that scores. It was touched just after it came over the net. And Natalie Foster gets a big point for Wichita State. That regains a little bit of breathing room for the Shockers. They're up 4 with 3 to get. Served by Strand to Whitlock. Madigan behind her to Harris. That deflects back to Kohler. Sent on the right to Rolling. That's blocked. Hollingshead leading the block for Arkansas State. Back to a 3-point score. That's a couple of times that Hollingshead has gone up and then gotten one with one hand or inside hand. Sarah Martinez serving. Short serve. Galligan hustled to get there. Strand. Twist gets it left for Kelly. Overpassed by Maloney, but a nice dig. Quick to Foster. That's dug by Madigan. Maloney bumped it over the net, and the Shockers hammer it back down. Good try by Maloney, but that pass took her very near to the net. She was just trying to keep it in play and passed it over the net. The Shockers knocked it back down. So it's now a 4-point lead, 2 points to go. Morgan Weber serving. Martinez, nice clean pass to Madigan, and a big swing by Hollingshead, and a little too big. She was under that one, sent it long, and Wichita State now at set point. Trying to go up 2-0 in the match, leading by 5. Morgan Weber serve into the net. So the Red Wolves still alive. But the reality is they have to score the next 4 points to keep this one going. Wichita State at set point, 4 points to work with. Libby Geweiler has been a regular in service rotations for the Red Wolves. This serve goes to Weber. And left to Kohler, and that is blocked off the antenna. Point to Wichita State, and the Shockers go up 2-0. After winning the first set 25-17, they get pushed a little farther in the second, but win it 25-20. Stay with us. We'll have more NIVC action from Wichita on ESPN+. there you see the scores. Wichita State looked like they were going to run away with that second set. They were up 20-11. Arkansas State went on a 7-1 run to cut it to 3, but the Shockers were able to finish it off. We're going to take a look at some highlights from that second set. Wichita State continues to have a solid advantage in terms of hitting percentage and just fewer errors. Arkansas State getting a block there, but Natalie Foster comes right back with a kill. Shockers have been spreading it around pretty well. Barbara Kohler, a little bit of a surprise starter on the left side today with 7 kills to lead both teams. There was Erin Madigan shoving one through the block, and Abby Harris is having a nice match for Arkansas State. She has 6 kills. And a block there by Natalie Foster for the Shockers. Another one of Harris's kills. And Whitlock has been all over the place, attacking, digging, and keeping some balls in play. But Wichita State up 2-0. Those highlights presented by the Patterson Legal Group. And we will show you the stats from the first 2 sets combined. Those are presented by Reese Nichols, and as you can see, the kills are close, but the attack errors 8 more by Arkansas State. So Wichita State 17 more kills than errors. Arkansas State only 6. You see the hitting percentages, and that's really the main advantage in the scoring in this match. Arkansas State with more digs, Wichita State with 2 more aces, so a couple of extra points there, and the blocks are even. And again, for Wichita State, Barbara Kohler, 7 kills, hitting .500. Natalie Foster, 5 kills, .500. Morgan Stout, 5 kills, .625 to lead the Shockers. Tegan Searing, 7 kills, hitting .182. Abby Harris, 6 kills, .188, leading Arkansas State. Caitlin Whitlock has 5 kills, but also 6 hitting errors. She does have a match-high 12 digs. We'll take another timeout. Be back with the third set as Wichita State tries to wrap it up in 3 and advance to the second round on their home court. Almost ready to begin the third set here at Charles Koch Arena in Wichita. Wichita State playing in its 3rd NIVC, looking for its 2nd victory in this tournament. The Shockers won a first-round match at North Texas 5 years ago over Central Arkansas, and then were eliminated by the host Mean Green in the second round. Last year, the Shockers lost in the first round to Grand Canyon. Arkansas State playing in its 6th NIVC, and they are 9-9 all time in this tournament. Wichita State up 2-0. They have won 25-17, 25-20, and trying to wrap it up in 3. The winner advances to meet Tulsa tomorrow in the second round. Tulsa earlier today scored a 3-1 win over Kansas City here in Koch Arena. If it is Wichita State which advances, they will be facing Tulsa for the 3rd time this season. The two met in 2 matches, both here in the regular season. In the American Conference format this year, with the league expanding to 14 teams for the first time, they were split into 2 7-team divisions and played each member of their division twice on the same weekend in the same location. And Natalie Foster with the first swing for Wichita State in the third set. That is Searing, dug by Galligan. And Briley Kelly, dug by Whitlock again. She has been tremendous. Izzy Strand, Galligan sets Kelly, tips it across. Madigan played it. Maloney out of system set to Harris. That's dug by Kohler. And Kelly off the block. It's tipped back. We've got a long rally to start this third set, and rolling. Missed wide, trying to take it down that right sideline. So an attack error by Wichita State gives the lead to Arkansas State. It's the second time that they have led, both times at 1-0 to start a set. They were up 1-0 in the first. Erin Madigan, and that finds the net. Service error. And that will even it up at 1-1. Arkansas State struggling a little bit with service errors in this one tonight. They now have 2 aces to 7 errors. Morgan Weber serving for the Shockers. To Maloney. On the right, little tip by Harris. Galligan there to back it up. Kohler bumps it across the net. Madigan goes left to Searing, and through the block, Tegan Searing scores. 7th kill for Tegan Searing. So it's 2-1 Red Wolves. Sarah Martinez again, normally the libero for Arkansas State, but not playing that position tonight. Quick in the middle to Foster, and that's a couple of times tonight that the timing on that quick has been so perfect that there was just no chance to stop it. She's already on her swing when the ball gets there, straight down to the floor. Side out Wichita State, set tied at 2. Katie Galligan serving. Floats that one deep to Maloney. Madigan behind her to Harris. A nice back set to Abby Harris for the kill. Arkansas State back in front by a point. Trying to stay alive. They have to win 3 straight sets now with the Shockers up 2-0. That is Libby G. Weiler, the server for the Red Wolves. Again, she is a 5'6" freshman. Galligan to Izzy Strand. Stout tipped it across. That was not a thing of beauty. The timing was a little off. But Stout, who appeared to be coming down from her jump, still managed to get it across the net and score. Gabby Moss will go back to serve for Wichita State. The Shockers have outscored the Red Wolves 50-37 over the first 2 sets. Martinez to Madigan on the right. That is Harris again. Abby Harris coming into tonight had played in 17 of 30 matches and 42 of 108 sets, averaging just over 1 kill per set, but she has averaged almost 2.6 kills per set in the last 2 matches, those in the Sun Belt tournament. Barbara Kohler kind of handcuffed Harris, but she kept it alive. Big swing from the back row by Martinez. And Kohler is stuffed by Madigan and also Yasmin Billings on that one. So some real signs of life by Arkansas State as they take a 2-point lead. The first time they have led by 2 in this match. Harris serving. Pass by Moss. Set left to Kohler. Little tip. Harris was there to get it. And tipping it in there to score is Caitlin Whitlock. Whitlock's had kind of a tough night as an attacker. She was in a negative percentage coming out of that second set. But she has been tremendous on the back row for the Red Wolves. They now have a 3-point lead in this third set with Wichita State up 2-0. Abby Harris, sophomore from Rogers, Arkansas. Goes to Moss with it. Strand behind her to Stout. And another really hard swing on that slide by Morgan Stout. That'll get the Shockers back in it a little bit after 3 straight points by Arkansas State. Kohler to serve. Had a big jump serve for an ace in the second set. And that one played by Martinez, set left to Whitlock. Bradley Kelly kept that one in play. And Stout with another hard swing off the block to score. Just overpowered the block that time, tooled it off the block out of bounds. Wichita State back to within one. Morgan Stout, redshirt sophomore, second team all-conference selection. Kohler's serve ricocheted off the tape. Great play by Maloney. Whitlock fires it deep and scores. Gabby Moss couldn't keep it in play. That was pretty much all out of system for Arkansas State, but Whitlock put a big swing on it and finished it off. Back to a 2-point advantage for the Red Wolves. You saw Tegan Searing checking back in. Whitlock to serve with her team up 2 in the set, down 2 sets to none. Moss with the pass, set left to Kelly, and that'll score for Wichita State. Whitlock has stopped a lot of balls back there tonight, but that was just too hot. Had to turn to her side, couldn't keep it. And Wichita State cuts it to 1. They'll side out with Morgan Stout serving. Floats it across to Maloney, close to the net, and a dump try. It will work. That'll be a kill for Erin Madigan. Quick attack by the setter. And the dig carried across the sideline out of bounds. Madigan does not attack real often, just over once per set, but is hitting .316 on the year when she does. Serve went to Galligan. That is Kelly. Whitlock with a one-handed save, and Strand right back with it, and that is out of bounds. Not a bad idea by Strand, a quick return on that overpass, hoping to catch Arkansas State still shifting, and she would have, except she just hit it too long. 3-point lead again for the Red Wolves, matching their biggest. Serve to Galligan. Strand to Foster, and Natalie Foster scores again. She has gotten some great balls to swing at. She's had a chance to really hit some hard. Swinging out to the right. Quick little set from Izzy Strand. Strand serving now, Whitlock. And on the left, Searing, and that ball passed across the net by the Wolves, tipped across by Rolling for the Shockers. Searing again, soft tap. Galligan slides to get it. Kelly off the block to Harris. And from the back row, Whitlock. That's a nice dig by Galligan. That ball was really hit. Kohler with a big swing, and Whitlock a nice dig. Harris dug by Strand. Galligan will bump it for Kelly. And that scores for the Shockers. Another fairly long rally, finally won by Bradley Kelly on a hard swing off the block. Wichita State back to within 1. They have trailed a couple of times by 3 points in this set. Whitlock returning service. That is Hollingshead, and she was underneath it a little bit. It was not touched by Wichita State, so that will be a Shocker point and ties it up at 9. The first time that Wichita State has been tied since it was 3-3. We will take a timeout. Wichita State up 2 sets to none. Arkansas State battling it out here in the third, all knotted up at 9. Wichita State down 3 a couple of times in this third set, fighting back to tie it up. Trying to win in 3. You can see the scores from the first 2. Arkansas State has certainly improved its attacking, been more efficient here in this third set, and right in it is Strand serving for Wichita State. Sends that one deep to Whitlock. That is Hollingshead with the tip. Sophia Rowling played it. Kelly with the swing. Nice dig by Maloney. Almost hit the scoreboard. Hollingshead again. Sliding dig by Strand. And bumped across by Foster. Set left to Searing. That's popped way up in the air by Kelly. Kelly with a soft tap. Maloney. Searing again. Blocked by the Shockers, but saved. And then tipped back again by Wichita State, but still in play. Searing. Dug by Galligan. Bumped back by Kelly for Rowling, and Sophia Rowling ends that long rally. Wichita State taking its first lead of this third set. Shockers have now scored 4 straight points. That was another long rally. The Shockers got it to one of their best attackers. Searing. Galligan partially played it. Kohler bumped it forward. Kelly. Maloney got to that one. And that is Whitlock. Galligan able to keep it off the floor. Kelly from off the net. Blocked, but Galligan backs it up. Kelly again. Harder swing, scores. Cross court. Briley Kelly had been in a situation where she was having to tip and soft attack a little bit. That time got a chance to really unwind on one and gets the kill. Strand's serve to Whitlock. Set right to Hollingshead. That's blocked but out of bounds. I believe. No. Apparently it... Well, no. I don't know. It doesn't look like... I'm not sure what they called here. All right, that was blocked. Oh, I guess they're saying it did not hit the blocker. It came back off the net. The point was the up official, the chair official above the net signaled point Wichita State. Yeah, it appeared to me it clearly hit the arms of the blocker, which I believe was Natalie Foster. And then it almost looked from that angle like it deflected off of her and touched the antenna. But whatever the case, it clearly appears to have been out of bounds off Wichita State. If that's the case, it would cut the lead to 1 point. Again, the winner advances to a second-round match in this National Invitational Volleyball Championship tomorrow at 1:30 against Tulsa, which won earlier here today 3-1 over Kansas City. Tulsa on a little bit of a roll. They've won their last 5 matches. Wichita State ended the regular season winning 5 of its last 8. Arkansas State has won 4 of its last 6 coming into this. See the discussion. And the point to Arkansas State. I'm not sure why there was ever a question. That looked pretty clear cut, but Arkansas State gets the point. They have cut it to 1, and they will side out with Erin Madigan serving. Erin Madigan, by the way, the only player on this roster to play every set this year for the Red Wolves, not 111, and she's going to get an ace. Barbara Kohler had trouble handling that serve. And so after Wichita State came from behind to take a 2-point lead, Arkansas State has it tied back up. Madigan serve into the net. That's been a problem for the Red Wolves tonight. That is their 8th service error in about 2.5 sets. They have 3 aces. Wichita State 6 errors, but 4 aces to go with it. Morgan Weber serving for Wichita State. That goes to Whitlock. Searing off the block. Barbara Kohler is there. Rolling. Nice dig again by Whitlock, but out of bounds. Whitlock has had to play some really hard swings, and she's done a great job that time. Got in front of it, but it went flying high and wide and out of bounds. 2-point lead for Wichita State. The serve by Weber to Whitlock again. On the left, Searing. Back to Strand. So Galligan will bump set it for Kohler. Blocked, but kept in play. Rolling, soft tip. Madigan, or that was Harris that played that. Off the back row, Whitlock, and that is long. Back row attack by Caitlin Whitlock, and just got a little too much of it. So the first 3-point lead now for Wichita State as the Shockers try to win it in 3 sets. Weber serve to Whitlock. Madigan on the right to Harris. That's dug by Strand. Galligan will bump it left for Kohler. Big swing and a great save by Maloney. Whitlock two-hands it across from the back row. Strand to Foster. Just a soft tap played by Whitlock. That is Hollingshead, and that's going to be a point for the Red Wolves. It carried over the net, dropped straight down. Kohler trying to get to it, actually passed it under the net. That will count as a kill for Brianna Hollingshead. 2-point lead for Wichita State. Sarah Martinez serving for Arkansas State. Brief delay while they wipe up some perspiration on Wichita State's side of the net. Morgan Weber, who does a little bit of everything for Wichita State, did the wiping up with the towel. Sarah Martinez ready to serve. And Kohler with the pass, short pass to Strand, back to Kohler, and knocks that off the block to score. Big tool off the block by Barbara Kohler for Wichita State. Gets them back to a 3-point advantage. And Kohler now with 8 kills in the match. That ties her with Morgan Stout for the lead for Wichita State. Served by Katie Galligan to Martinez. On the right, that's Harrison. That is long, but was it touched? Actually, there was a violation by Wichita State. So it didn't matter where it ended up. Violation gives the point to Arkansas State, and they are back to within 2. Libby G. Weiler. It's been a frequent server tonight for the Red Wolves. Deep to Weber. Strand to Stout. Nice dig by G. Weiler. Harris with the try, pops way up in the air off the block. Rolling, bumps it over to Strand, and got a whistle. Morgan Stout got hit in the face. Appears to be holding her nose, and so they stopped play, and looks like they will replay the point. The ball was in the air, being played. Stout will continue kind of laughing it off now, but she got hit across the bridge of the nose, it appeared. Here's a look at it. She's right there in the middle of the net. Oh, the ball got her in the face. Ball took an unexpected angle, or maybe came off the net a little bit, and she didn't get her hands on it. So they are replaying the set, or replaying the point. G. Weiler serve to Kohler, and that'll be an ace. Barbara Kohler unable to handle that serve. So G. Weiler with the serve gets the 4th ace of the match for Arkansas State. It's now a 1-point margin for Wichita State here in the 3rd set. Wichita State won the first 25-17 and won the second 25-20. Ready to go with another G. Weiler serve. That goes to Weber. Kind of an erratic pass, but Kohler gets it across the net. In the middle, that is Haley Gluns, a freshman, taking, I believe, her first swing of the night. She was introduced with the starting lineup, but that's the first time I recall her with an attempt, and gets a kill to tie it up. Haley Gluns, 6'1" freshman from Aurora, Colorado. That's Weber with the pass to Strand, and rolling. just overpowered G. Weiler. That was hit so hard, it got G. Weiler in the shoulder. And the point to Wichita State. Here's another look at it. I don't know if you won't see G. Weiler in that frame. But Wichita State back up by a point. Gabby Moss back to serve for the Shockers. That'll go to Martinez. Set left and touched at the net and then out of bounds on that swing by Whitlock. Caitlin Whitlock getting a kill to even it back up. After 32 points in the first set, Wichita State was up 20-12. In fact, they've been up by that score in both sets, so Arkansas State right in it for the first time. Kohler, big swing to get the point. Barbara, who likes to be called Ba Kohler, puts Wichita State back ahead by a point with her make that 9th kill of the match. And she will be serving for the Shockers. She hits that big jump serve. Pass near the net. Madigan on the right. And that's Gluns again with another kill. Played it off the block. Kaylee Gluns had started 24 of the previous 30 matches this year, so she has played a lot. Hitting .219, one of the best hitting percentages on the team. And it is all evened up at 17 here in the third set. Whitlock, the serve. Moss played it to Izzy Strand, and Stout hit it off the fingertips of the block. Ended up long out of bounds, but it is a kill for Morgan Stout. And she will go back to serve with Wichita State in front by a point. Flat-footed serve to Whitlock. Cross-court set to Searing. That deflects back to Stout. Set left to Kelly. One-handed save by Maloney. Pushed back by Kelly for the kill. Great hustle by Mia Maloney. Racing back into the middle of the court to get one hand on that one, but it passed over the net and kind of set up Riley Kelly to dump it back down. Stout serving with a 2-point lead. And gets the ace. And maybe just a little bit of confusion there between Maloney and Whitlock. They were kind of right on top of each other, and it dropped in front of them. First ace for Morgan Stout. That is Wichita State's 5th service ace of the match, and they now have a 3-point advantage. And another ace. That one just dropped like a rock in front of Maloney. Back-to-back service aces by Morgan Stout. Wichita State is now on a 4-0 run and now in good position to maybe still win this in 3. That is the 6th service ace to 6 errors for Wichita State in the match. And you always like maintaining that kind of average. In fact, those coaches will take 1.5 errors to every ace, and 1-to-1 is outstanding. Wichita State hitting .293 for the match. Arkansas State at .157. Arkansas State has outblocked the Shockers 5-4. The Shockers with 6 aces to 4. Again, Wichita State has won the first 2 sets. This one has been much closer, and it looked like it could go either way just moments ago. But after Arkansas State tied it at 17-all, Wichita State on a 4-0 run to open up this 4-point lead. Generally speaking, in college volleyball, when you have the same amount of points lead that you need to score to end the set, that's a really good position to be in. It will work out for you much more often than not, and that's where the Shockers are. Up 4 to get. We'll see if they can finish it off or if Arkansas State can make a little run of their own. Stout serve, long this time, so after back-to-back service aces, she sends one long, and Arkansas State will get the serve back down 3 points. Stout being congratulated as she goes out. Mia Maloney getting a chance to wear the libero jersey today for Arkansas State. And the freshman from Louisville back to serve. And long. Line drive type of serve, carried long. So the team's trade service errors. Back to a 4-point lead for Wichita State, and now they need only 3 more points to win the match. Izzy Strand serving. Whitlock with the pass. On the left, Searing, and she'll score. Searing and Whitlock have been the 2 leading attackers throughout the match for Arkansas State. And Abby Harris. I shouldn't overlook Abby Harris for sure. But Searing with an important kill there. Keeps Arkansas State's head up a little bit. Madigan serving. Galligan with the pass to Strand, and that's Kelly deflecting deep to Whitlock. Madigan goes back to get it. Cross court to Searing. Came off the block to Kelly. Right in the middle, Foster block, but Galligan is there. On the right, rolling. And it rattles around and falls in. The ball came off a deflection. It looked like Madigan was anticipating it going to her right. It deflected back to her left. She tried to change direction, slipped a little bit, and couldn't do much with it. So now Wichita State 2 points away from match point, leading by 4. Weber the serve, Maloney the pass, and on the right that's Harris, was blocked back, and then Foster whips one in there for the score. Whitlock was caught backpedaling a little bit, couldn't play the ball, and Wichita State, which was tied at 17 moments ago, now on a 7-2 run to get to match point. And that serve to Maloney. Madigan to Whitlock, and from the back row, dug by Strand. Galligan bumps it across for rolling, and that's going to do it. Off the hands of Whitlock, and Wichita State, with a strong finish to the third set, wins it in 3, taking the third set, 25-19. So the Shockers season will continue at 22-8 as they advance to beat fellow American Conference member Tulsa in the second round tomorrow. We'll come back to close this one out right after this. Welcome back to Charles Koch Arena. It's the home court for Wichita State, and the Shockers defended their home court with a 3-set win over Arkansas State. You see the Arkansas State players hugging each other. This ends their season at 16-15, but a very successful season. Great turnaround from a 9-22 record in Brian Gerwig's first year a year ago, and they have virtually everybody coming back next year. Here's a look at our Dillon's play of the game, and in some ways typical of a lot of this match. There were some long rallies in this match. Arkansas State, team that digs a lot of balls, forces you to battle back and forth and play in some long rallies. You see there some great saves, how they ever got that one across the net. Big swing by Stout, dug by Whitlock. Searing with the try, but Katie Galligan is there. Kelly again. Whitlock digging again. Searing. And finally, Morgan Stout with a tip off the block to end that long rally. Player of the game is that player, Morgan Stout, the redshirt sophomore for Wichita State. Had a career-high hitting percentage in this one. 12 swings, 9 kills, no errors, 750. She had hit 538 against Tulane, 524 against UAB, 750 in this one, going 9 for 12 with no errors. Wichita State now 22-8, moves on to face an opponent for the third time this season. That is the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, who won earlier today 3-1 over Kansas City. So Wichita State and Tulsa meet for the third time tomorrow in a second-round match of the NIVC. First serve at 1:30. We look forward to having you with us. That will do it from here. Final score in this NIVC first rounder: Wichita State 3, Arkansas State 0.